Hi friends, I have something important for you. If you're having any Python kind of error in your code or bug issues or any kind of error in your Python code, I'll help you fix it through fiverr.com. My link is at the description below. So it is just for $5 and it's under 24 hours. I'll perfectly and quickly fix the error you have in your script, any kind of error you have your script that you know that is so difficult for you to fix. So let's get started right away. Hi friends, in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to change a name of a file using your own voice with Python. For example, now let's run this program now and see for ourselves. Right, it says write the directory to your file only. I write the directory, then I click enter, and when I click enter, I'll say the name of the file right over here, and I'll also change it to the another name with my own voice. So let's get started now, right now here. So we enter one, three. It says name has been changed, and look at it right over here. The value changed from 1 to 3. So that's what we are going to be working on today. So let's get started. Hi friends, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button, and please do not forget to support me on PayPal. The link is at the description below. So let's get started. So before we get started now, two requirements are needed: a good and stable internet connection, number one, and number two, we need to install um really you write pip install speech recognition and you install it right over here. But I've already installed it, so there is no need of wasting time. So what I'm going to do is I'll write while let's start right away. While true right over here. Then I'll write try. Then what I'm going to do, I'll write import OS, import speech recognition as SR, then import I just only need these two only. So what I'm going to do right over here is that I'm going to come over here and write let's clear this try something away here. What I'll come and do here is I'll create a variable which is um first input, first input, and I'm going to write equal to input and what we are going to write here is we are going to say write the name of the directory to your file file only. So that is our first step now. So let's move on to the next step. Our next step now is to write r equals to sr dot recognizer. Then we are going to write sr is going to be dot. The sr dot recognizer is to be able to recognize your your speech, your audio whatever you see, that's the usage of it. So we say with sr dot microphone, then as speech to text. Then over here we are going to see um r r what's right over here. I'm going to say r dot adjust for ambient noise. That means to help reduce any kind of noise or distraction around you, any kind of there's any kind of noise that doesn't, it's just to reduce any kind of outer noise different from your own voice. So that's what is the main purpose is for. Saying then we are going to write speech to text right over here. So over here now we're going to write speech to text. Speech to text is going to be equal to r dot listing, then speech to text. So here, after that now, let's move on to the next step now. So now in this our step now, our next step now, what we are going to do now is that we are going to create a variable which is called, I'll call it this thing speech. I'll call it what do I call it? Text is going to be equal to r dot recognize Google. Then what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to write speech to text. The reason why we write recognize r dot recognize dot Google is that we want Google to be able to grab to be able to get what we actually said with our voice. So that's why we it requires us to have an internet connection. So yes, so let's move on. We are going to now say text is going to be equal to text dot lower that is lower key. So whenever the Google translate your speech to text, it's going to give us our answer. It's going to give us the text in a lowercase form. But we are more on this program now. What we are concerned of is lowercase letters. That's what we are concerned of now. So now let's move on to the next step now. Right here now, what we are going to do is that we are going to write. I'm going to create a variable which is um I'm going to write name. What I'm going to write now right over here is let me see something right over here. Am I mistaking myself? We are correct right over here. What I'll just do is that, remember, we are creating the kind of program whereby we use our voice to rename a folder. To rename a folder. So what we are trying to do now is that when we enter the name, the directory, after we enter the directory now, we need to pronounce the name of the file or whatever it is there. So for us to be able to do that now, we are going to write I'm going to call this input um impute old name, which is going to be equal to this text. We are going to get what we are waiting. That means whenever we reach to this line of script, we are waiting for you to say the name of the text, the name of the folder, so that we get the actual folder we want to change the name. We want to change the name of a certain kind of folder to. So from here now, we are going to now write print text, so that we can be able to see what we are doing, if it's actually working. So now, in our next step now, what we are going to be doing now is that we are going to create also the new, after we've said the name of the old text, we are going to also um, um change the name of the old text to a newer name. So that's what we are going to be working on. So let's move on to the next step. So now right over here, what we are going to do is that now we want to make sure that after we enter our directory, we get the name of or the old name of the file, and also we get the new name of the file, so that we replace the old one with the new one. So for us to be able to do that now, we are going to write um old underscore name is going to be equal to first input, first input. So under here now, we are going to say length of first input. First input, length. First input length is going to be equal to len bracket, then old name. So here, after that, we want to get the length of the old name, the total length, so that we can be able to add um add our old name, so we can be able to pronounce the name of this thing, the name of the text right over here. So right over here now, we are just going to call this as let's just leave it as old name first of all. So here in this next step, I'm going to write um then old name is going to be equal to first input. Then we get the first input length. We write first input length. That means we get the first input length and in slot in this right over here, input old name. So we get the directory full completely. So that's all for the old name. So let's move on to the next step. So right over here, this old name is still showing. I'll change it to previous name. Previous name, and I'm going to call it previous name. So this old name, previous name equal to first input, they will get the length of this first input. That's we will impute this and slot this and get the old name variable. This is the old name variable. So the new name variable now, want to do the same thing for what we did right over here. I'm going to copy this right over here and change some things. This recognition script here. I'll copy it right over here, and then I'll copy and paste it right over here to save time. So now let's change some things right over here. From starting from this R dot recognizer, I'll call the speech to text one. I'll just write one. Replace anywhere with speech to text with one. With speech to text one. Sorry. Then one here. Then instead of text, I'll write text one. Text. I'll write text zero. Text zero right over here. And I'll change this impute old name to impute new name. Impute new name. So right over here, that's what we are just trying to make sure that, so impute new name, we will now be waiting for you to um voice out your speech right over in this side. So that's all for this step. Now let's move on to the final steps. So now we are going to create a variable which is called new name. Under this new name, we are going to include our this we are going to include our we are going to start with our first input right over here, and write first input, then first input length, then plus um plus this impute new name. Impute new name. So now at this final step, now what we are going to do now is that for us to be able to rename the file, I'm just going to write os dot rename. I'll replace the old name with the new name. So now like this, and also not that you just replace it for us, it will also notify us that name has been changed. So now let's run the program now and see it for ourselves. Or before we run the program now, let's do some other things. The things we want to work on now is that right over here I'm going to write try over here, and under here I'm going to write except. The reason why I'm writing it for the text input and stuff, or the I mean this voice speech to text stuff here. In case now there is wrong, there is bad internet connection, instead of the program just crashing, request error. This is a kind of exception handling. So request error as E. That means if the internet connection is really bad, then what are we going to do? We are going to notify, we are going to be notified that bad uh, internet internet. So the other one, the other exceptional handling too, we are going to write except sr dot unknown value error. Then maybe if you are not able to get the text properly, What are we going to do for that? We're going to write print. Then what we are going to write, we are going to write unknown error. So now let's run the program now. So now let's run the program now and see. Let's try and change this figure from number 3 to number 7 right over here. So let me run the program now. It says write the name of the directory to your file only. Let me check the name of the directory and copy right over here. Then I'll copy the name of the directory here and put my slash. Then now I'll voice out number 3 now. 3 7. It says name has been changed, and look right over here, the value is 7 now. So also if I run it also the other way too, I try to change it from 7 to 3, it's going to work. So now because I have slow internet connection, I can't do it now. It will show some kind of error now. So I think that's all for this tutorial. So thanks for watching and see you in my next video. Hi, please, if you are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit the like button and also hit the subscribe button. And please do not forget to support me on PayPal. The link is at the description below. So thanks for watching and see you in my next video.